Welcome back YouTube, it's Des the Auto Tech. So today I want to discuss a vehicle we got in a shop. It's a 99 Ford Expedition. Customer brought it in. He said his engine's making noise. So when we got it in the shop, we turned the key. You can obviously hear a rod. We knew then and there that we were going to have to pull this motor out to repair it. So I decided to, once I pulled the motor, I wanted to put it on the engine stand, and I wanted to see what was really going on inside of it. So I flipped it over, put it on the engine stand, and removed the oil pan. So I just want to show you guys what happens to your vehicle when you run it low on oil, and what I found inside of that oil pan when I removed it. So let's take a look.
All right, let's go take a look over here at my little box that I put some of the parts that I fished out of the oil pan. So as you can see right here, you can see where it snapped at this point. I also found in there piston rings. So we have some piston rings here. Yeah, that's pretty bad. And there's a piece of the skirt, and you can see exactly where the piston rings went in on this top half. So it's pretty gnawed up and bad. But really what caught my eye when I removed the pan is that, what is this, guys? It's a valve. And I found a piece of the valve just laying in the oil pan along with the valve stem broken off and bent. So it's pretty bad. This is what happens, guys, when you don't have oil inside of your vehicle. When inspecting the old motor, get some light in here. Here's a hole. Well, obviously it's a hole where you can obviously see the piston had broke through the short block. So I also believe that oil and water mixed in the pan because the damage done inside internally broke one of the water passage ports, and that's when the water and oil begin to mix. So what we're going to do with this motor, we're going to get a replacement motor and get it put in here. We already got the motor here. As you can see, I know in Brian 916 video, he showed us receiving the motor. So we have the motor here. We're going to do a motor swap on this 99 Expedition, and we should get this thing fixed up. I also wanted to point out that this motor was very difficult to track down. Apparently Ford has two different motors. One has 8 flywheel bolts, and the other has 6 flywheel bolts. And it depends on the VIN. So there's a VIN 6, which is the 8 flywheel bolt, and then there's a VIN W, which has a 6 flywheel bolt. You guys have to be real careful when you buy a used motor for this vehicle, because you can give them everything correct and then they'll send you the 6-bolt motor, and of course it's not going to be compatible with the flywheel. So I also wanted to point out too that this motor came out of a 98 Navigator. So at the time Ford used 98 Navigator motors in their Ford Expedition. I guess until they ran out of those 98 motors, and then they started putting the motors that they designed for this vehicle originally, which has a 6-bolt flywheel. Also, I want to show you guys what a piston that's somewhat intact looks like. And you can see that it really broke inside of there. It looks really bad. So I wanted to show you guys our piston that was somewhat in good shape, or better shape than this thing, to give you an idea of how badly or severely damaged this part was.
All right, so remember guys, always check your oil and your dipstick. Make sure it's between the cross hatches or the 2 dots or whatever system you have in your car, because you could cause catastrophic damage to your engines that's going to cost you thousands of dollars to get repaired. So due to time constraints, I probably won't be filming the whole process of me putting the new engine in, but I will give you guys the first startup of this car when I drop the motor in. So I hope you guys like the video. Please like, share, subscribe. And this is Des the Auto Tech, and I'll see you guys on the next one.